The biggest issue, in my opinion, is social media. Due to that, you're getting constantly like dopamine hit, which is constantly sucks you into that system. But what happened, basically, people do not relate like this. When consuming junk food, you understand that you're damaging your body. Okay, it might be quite good, for a couple of minutes. That sensation is very pleasant, but later you have consequences. But people do not relate that your brain is also social media is junk food. But sometimes you need some hygiene and vagus nerve activation. It can be natural breathing exercises. I don't know, humming, cold showers, meditation. It can activate those fibers which push your body into relaxation.
Well, welcome to Biohacking with Brittany, the podcast where science meets wisdom. I'm Brittany Ford, holistic nutritionist, biohacker, and mom. And for years, I struggled with gut issues, hormonal imbalances, and the exhaustion of motherhood while running a business. Biohacking and functional medicine became my way back to clarity, vitality, and trust in my body. And that's why I'm here, not just to share information, but to share the practices and perspectives that truly shifted my health and my life. Each week, I bring you science-backed tools, honest conversations, and rituals I live myself so you can return to your own body's wisdom and create longevity on your own terms. Because your body already knows this is just the space to remember. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining me today. I am back after my time in San Francisco. I had the opportunity to take some time away from my baby for the first time. And it was my birthday, and it was incredible, actually. So it was the first time I've been away overnight before. My kid is now 14 months, and so it was really special. I went out and flew out and met my husband there, and we did a whole bunch of like biohacky birthday things. So, we started the morning with a outdoor HIIT boot camp workout on the rooftop of the hotel that we were in. And then I did like a salt, magnesium, seaweed, eucalyptus oil bath, which was incredible at this spa, followed by a deep tissue massage, which was so nice. And then we walked all over the city. I think we did like 16,000 steps that day. Went out for a really nice dinner. I had bone marrow and Wagyu steak, and it was incredible. So honestly, I feel very spoiled and one of the best birthdays I've ever had. And it was really nice to take time away from my motherly duties, I guess we'll call it. Callahan stayed back with my grandma, with my mom. And yeah, it was interesting. The first night, I definitely had moments of anxiety and worry. And, I'm still breastfeeding him, and kind of these thoughts of like, is he going to be able to go to sleep without me? And, he's not going to see me all day, and dad's not there either. And this is the first time he's been away from mom and dad at the same time. And so there was a lot of that type of thinking. But at the end of the day, it was so worth it. And I left on Sunday morning to fly back to Toronto, and I felt like I could have stayed another night, maybe even another night. And so that's really what told me that I waited until the right time to step away. And I'm glad I listened to myself and didn't force myself to do anything I wasn't ready for yet. I'm glad I did the 2 nights so that I could actually rejuvenate, get some sleep, and be able to breathe a bit more. And so for all the mamas listening, I know there's so many of you, I really encourage you to take the time for yourself when you feel like it's best and when you feel like it's ready. I think it's different for everybody and depends on your network and your support and your village. There's no one I would leave, like no one else other than my mother who I would leave my kid with overnight. And so I'm so thankful for that. And it was, it was really special. And I'm just really, really happy that I did it. And I really encourage you to think about doing something like that if you are being called to step away. And this is actually something I talk about with my retreat quite a bit. I have a few moms who are coming, and our narrative and the things we talk about on the calls beforehand is like, You're stepping away from your family. And sometimes it's for moms, this is the first time that they're stepping away from their kids in March when they come out to Costa Rica with me. And I just want to really encourage all the moms listening, or women in general. Like, if you feel like this is something that you want to do, seriously reach out to me and we can make it happen. I think there's so much to be said about filling up your own cup and overflowing into all areas of your life. And sometimes that actually does mean forcing yourself to get on a plane and get out of the country for 5 nights. And I will say this, because I just did it, right? Like, I flew from Toronto to San Francisco. So I will say that if I had just driven down the road or went to a hotel, even in Toronto, which is a 2-hour drive from me, the inclination or the temptation to drive back, be like, oh, he's not feeling well. Oh, he's not sleeping. Okay, I'm coming home. It's fine, whatever, right? Would have been so much stronger. But forcing myself to be far away at this point, I think was the right move. And I think that's why there are moms who are signing up for my retreat for that reason. They are feeling like, hey, I need to get out of town. They need to function without me. Dad's got it, you know? And so I'm so excited to dive into that with all of the women joining me. And there's still spots open. I know it's so early. Some of the people I talk to, they're like, oh, March, that's so far away. Okay, I'll think about it and I'll get back to you. And I get that. I've done that too. But at the same time, it's limited, right? So it's limited to a few people only. And there's not that many spots left. So yeah, I'm also doing custom payment plans as well. And if you want to talk about that, send me a message. Speaking of, I'm actually going on a retreat in November. I'm going down to Florida, again, leaving my baby. And this time I'll be alone. My husband's not coming. I'm going down to the Keys and I'm really excited for that. So that's 3 nights. And I'm just going to take the time to, again, work on myself and be able to show up better for myself, my family, my business, everything like that. That is my spiel. Thank you for all the happy birthdays. Thank you for all the love. And I am excited that you are here listening. This episode, we are diving into Pulsetto. Joining me is the CEO and the co-founder of Pulsetto, Povilas Sabaliauskas. I definitely did not say that correctly. But he is a neuromodulation expert leading the development of Pulsetto. And Pulsetto is a device. I just posted about it on Instagram yesterday, actually. And it's an innovative vagus nerve stimulation device designed to improve sleep, reduce anxiety, and empower mental well-being. His work bridges advanced wearable technology with science-backed recovery techniques, helping people reconnect with their best selves. So cool. I love this device. It's so great for burnout, anxiety, hormonal imbalances, sleep issues, and especially for women. And we dive into that in this episode today. The cool thing about Pulsetto, which is why I like it, is that you only need 4 minutes. It's actually crazy. So you put this device around your neck, you connect it to the phone, the app on your phone, and it stimulates the vagus nerve. And through that electrical current that is stimulating it, you're able to actually drop into rest and digest the parasympathetic mode very easily. And I love that. Literally 4 minutes. We all have 4 minutes. And what's really cool about it is it's hands-free, right? So you could literally put it around your neck while you're doing your makeup in the morning or getting dressed or feeding the kids or whatever it might be. And so it's something that you can stack into your life very easily, which is why I love it. So I think you guys are going to love this episode as well. Let me know what you think. If you want to try Pulsetto, I will put my discount code. I think it's BIOHACKINGBRITTANY in all capitals. I'll put it in the show notes for you and the link. Strongly suggest you check it out. I get quite a few questions about this device, actually. My recommendation is that if you are somebody who is struggling with anxiety, overwhelm, stress, potentially even burnout, this is perfect for you. And I also think on the flip side, if you're going through something really hard right now and there's a lot of feelings of sadness and maybe even depression, I think this could be helpful as well. It's my favorite vagus nerve device right now and has been for the last, 6 months since I got it. So I definitely recommend checking this out. Or if you know somebody who could really benefit from something like this, definitely a good idea as well. Before we dive in, a shout out to Calo Curb. I know you all loved our episode together. Calo Curb is a basically natural Ozempic supplement. We did a whole podcast episode together, and it is a way to curb your appetite. And you take this supplement all natural before 1 to 2 hours before a meal. My mom is obsessed with this. She's lost like 8 pounds in 3 weeks. And it's a much more gentle and healthier alternative to Ozempic because it doesn't suppress your appetite 24/7. It only suppresses it before meals. And so we actually get that healthy curve of the appetite hormones much better, much more there versus like them basically flatlining and you just eating way less. So I think this is something to be said about this. There's also no side effects. Now we're getting more and more research coming out about these injectables and the side effects that go along with them. And thankfully we have something like Calo Curb that doesn't have those side effects. So my recommendation around this is that if you are somebody who's looking to lose weight, I would start with something like this for sure. Assuming you are not pregnant, postpartum, breastfeeding, anything like that. Like whole period, I would not recommend anything like this. Your body's already going through enough change. You don't need to, it's just not safe, in my opinion, to take something like this. So if you're not in those stages, absolutely. And you want to lose some weight, I think it's great. Along with obviously the foundations like nutrition, sleep, exercise, lifestyle, those types of things as well. So check out Calo Curb, use my discount code, use my link. You can save. Like I said, my mom takes it twice a day before breakfast and dinner. She's lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks. And honestly, she doesn't even have like 8 pounds to lose. But in her mind, it's her own journey and, I respect that. So definitely check this out if this is something that you are interested in and you're like, yeah, I really want to, I want that extra thing to help me lose weight. I think this is what you're looking for. And obviously, I already mentioned my retreat, but if my women's biohacking retreat, it's called Optimize Her, is something that's on your radar, I really hope you join me in Costa Rica next year. I can't wait to see you there. I am actually putting together my framework right now. I can't say too much about it because I'm launching it in my new community soon, but there's a lot of really cool things coming. So stay tuned and enjoy this episode, guys. You can leave a review if you want. I love seeing those. And send me a message if you have any questions, and I will catch you soon for another episode. Okay, welcome back to the show, everybody. I am thrilled to be talking everything nervous system today. We're going to be diving into nervous system regulation, how to understand if your nervous system is optimized and how it might be overfunctioning or underfunctioning, especially for all of the parents out there, the new moms, the women listening who honestly just have so much on their plates and don't necessarily have the time to kind of take care of our stress responses and our nervous system at all. So joining me is Povilas. He is the co-founder of Pulsetto, which we are also going to talk about. This device, I was shocked when I first used it. So I'm just going to talk about that in a little bit. But man, it is definitely changing the game for a lot of people. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brittany, for having me. It is always a pleasure to speak with some specific topics. Let's say like this.
Yeah, I'm excited you're here. I would love to kind of know more about your history specifically. Why did you think focusing on the nervous system was so important?
So let's say like this. I'm biomedical engineer or biomechanical engineer. It depends, in which year you would ask. But in general, when I saw, let's say, I'm a huge proponent of neuromodulation in general. But our device is focused on vagus nerve stimulation. So it's one basically branch of your nervous system. But when I saw first time deep brain stimulation, it is for dystonia or Parkinson's disease, where you implant electrical leads into your middle of your brain and stimulate it, and you can reduce the tremors of your hands and reduce symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And when I first saw it, there is a lot of videos on YouTube. You can check it. and it looks like magic because when you put electrical current into some specific part of the brain, it can just stop your tremors, and it looks like magic and feels like magic. And understood, okay, this might be a very good uh, field in which I can dig deeper into that. It seems that it has a lot of potential. So I finished studies. I had manufacturing company, but later I had an opportunity to join a company which basically opened the neuromodulation in Baltics. What I would say neuromodulation is vagus nerve stimulation, deep brain stimulation, spinal cord stimulation. And I had a huge amount of, let's say, knowledge in that field. Had a lot of contacts, had to travel a lot. But what happened, being from a small country, my father became quite ill. And I wanted to give him kind of solution. Due to that, we did all the, let's say, tests, blood work, etc. And he was completely fine. But he was degrading over time. And I saw that, we need to do something. And, one of those solutions was vagus nerve stimulation. So I thought, okay, maybe implantable is not an option for him due to that he does not have drug-resistant epilepsy or drug-resistant depression, which at that time were two indications of when you can implant a vagus nerve stimulation device. So I said, okay, there is a lot of data. I talked with neurologists, neuroscientists, neurosurgeons, and said, okay, maybe external vagus nerve stimulation device can be an option for him. Being from Lithuania, I could not get any device on the market into Lithuania. So, what to do? Being an engineer, said, okay, I can build it myself.
Cool.
But my father passed away. I did not know the timeline. So, I put this basically Pulsetto project to a side. But later, during COVID, I met my co-founder, Vitalijs. He's a business developer. And we understood that, okay, this might be a very good niche due to that his wife has a cluster headaches. And one of the indication of vagus nerve stimulation is cluster headaches. So one company has this kind of indication. So we tried it on her. That initial prototype, it worked. And we understood, okay, this kind of technology can be used, applied easily externally. And we need to let's say, build this. Of course, a lot of things happened in the middle where we, building hardware is hard. And but right now we're doing quite well. I think we're basically democratizing a little bit of this kind of technology in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm sorry to hear about your dad passing, and I think it's interesting that it's such a personal thing for you. Like there's so much personal motivation there to bring it to people so that they have a solution outside of drugs or doctors or something else. Like it's almost like giving ownership back to the person of their own health.
In general, it seems something quite, new, stimulating some nerve externally, but in general, it's quite old technology. Implantable devices are, I don't know, for 60 years already. So, people were using electrical eels to stimulate lower limbs, let's say legs, to reduce lower back pain in ancient Greek or Egypt. So this was used, maybe a little bit forgotten, but, when you touch the electrical wires, if you ever touched it, you know how fast it travels. And this is one of the key, let's say, benefits. You can feel effects quite fast, let's say, compared to some medication. Due to that, you need to have a ramp up stage. Later, you have honeymoon period. And, with neuromodulation, basically, you do not have this kind of, let's say, ramping up stages or a honeymoon period. So it's a little bit faster. And in my opinion, this will be, let's say, one of the new things in the nearest future, that more these kind of devices for different kind of, let's say, I don't know, not diseases, but conditions will be evolving due to that. We have a lot of wearable devices. We know the data. We know that we're feeling bad, but there are not a lot of solutions which can help you to mitigate those kind of feelings or being, I don't know, in a burnout stage, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I want to just take it back for a second before we get into the device. When you say vagus nerve stimulation,
Yeah.
how do you explain that to somebody who has like never ever heard those terms before? Like I think of my mom listening to this podcast and she would be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So vagus nerve, it's like a nerve. It's also in Latin called wandering nerve, basically. Uh, so it travels from the brain to all your internal organs. So gut, lungs, kidneys, heart, etc. So it has nerve endings in all of the organs, and basically it is like a highway of information. So if you have two states, fight or flight or rest and digest. So you can be in a stress mode or in a relaxation mode. So if you are in constant stress mode, basically, vagus nerve is, some parts of vagus nerve is not active. So your body is optimized for reducement of stress. But what does this mean? So if you are trying in a nature to reduce the stress, you are optimized for not, let's say, you have elevated heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rate, also your, let's say, kidneys, spleen, gut is not working properly. Due to that, we are optimized for reducing the stress. This is secondary. This is for rest and digest state. But, if you are constantly bombarded with stressors, which can be, in this day and age, from social media to any task that you can get. And of course, if you have small children, usually you're constantly in that state due to that. You're always worried about, your child. So basically what happens, your vagus nerve is not activating those fibers which are responsible going to relaxation state. But this is needed naturally due to that you cannot go throughout the day without switching those states, because you will always be on the edge. So what we do, we push electrical signal via, let's say, in the neck region, we create electrical signal between two electrodes. We push electricity, we activate specific vagus nerve fibers, which are going from the body to the brain, and we are tricking your body into relaxing. Your brain says, okay, my body is trying to relax. We're sending the signal back down, and your gut, your spleen, your kidneys starts working on a relaxation restoration mode. So basically, we push that engine to a start in some ways.
This episode is brought to you by Optimize Her, my women's biohacking retreat in Costa Rica, happening March 2nd to 7th, 2026. I am so excited, guys. This isn't just another yoga retreat. It's a 5-night, 6-day, science-backed health optimization woven into feminine restoration, designed specifically for women's bodies. We'll dive into functional medicine and longevity tools, experience healing sessions like sound baths and cacao ceremonies, and recalibrate with daily movement, spa rituals, and farm-to-table meals that support hormones, gut health, and vitality. It's not about fixing. It's about clearing the noise so you can actually tune into your body again. If you're ready for deep restoration and transformation, you can explore all the details in the show notes, and I would absolutely love to see you in Costa Rica. Right. Yeah. 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 I love that explanation. I think that makes sense. I wonder how this applies to like overworking and almost being addicted to the adrenaline. Like I remember years ago when I was working downtown, I was working in an architecture firm and I was working so much and I'd wake up in the morning and almost be like addicted to the high of being so stimulated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like how would this play into that when you're like you actually like that feeling of like being over caffeinated or overstimulated?
This is a good feeling if you like it, but in some ways you're basically breaking your body, because you cannot be, I don't know, 18 hours a day on a, let's say, adrenaline rush. Due to that, your body has some limits and it needs some restoration time. I also, as a business owner, I wake up in the morning, I have stress, high cortisol levels, but I use, let's say, Pulsetto, I damp down a little bit and try to relax, cross-check my list, try to go to, let's say, to normal levels of stress and, start to work. But this is completely normal. And people are, like war veterans, after war, everything is not exciting anymore. So we are getting like a dump of, I don't know, meaninglessness or something like this. So this is a completely normal thing. But, the biggest issue, in my opinion, is social media. Due to that, you're getting constantly like dopamine hit, which is constantly let's say, sucks you into that system.
Oh, yeah.
But what happened? Basically, people do not relate like this. When consuming junk food, you understand that you're damaging your body. Okay, it might be quite good, for the couple of minutes. That sensation is very pleasant, but later you have consequences. But people do not relate that your brain is also social media is junk food. You're
Yeah.
providing to it, but sometimes you need some hygiene and vagus nerve activation. It can be natural breathing exercises. I don't know, humming, cold showers, meditation. It can activate those fibers which push your body into relaxation state. So if you forget that social media is like a junk food, you basically eating your brain into some very weird state where it will be very hard if you reach, let's say, from stress to anxiety, from anxiety maybe to depression or maybe to burnout, and later you need, I don't know, some medication therapies and other things, which is quite hard to go from that loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that. There's a lot of dopamine that comes from social media, for sure. Like people liking your posts, following you, messaging you, whatever it is. And I actually see this with my little brother. He's 28. I guess he's not little, but he's on Instagram more than I am. And I have a business on Instagram and he doesn't. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he just checks it every couple hours, posting stories. Every time he eats something, he posts a story. I'm like, dude, no one cares, first of all. But I see that addiction there with him, or even with TikTok. I don't know if you have TikTok, but man, the way the TikTok algorithm is created is so addictive and it just keeps going and going and going. So what's the solution there? Like just understanding that it is an addiction, it's messing up our dopamine response and our nervous system, and then taking a step back. Like, I guess it's just heightened awareness.
Yeah, in my opinion, there is no quick solution for this kind of things due to that there are a lot of smart people who are trying to create this kind of algorithm to trick you into being there. So, in my opinion, this is like a normal thing. I also understand that TikTok has an amazing algorithm. That is why I try to remove it and leave it as a business tool if I need it. But I never go to it due to that. I know that it can suck very quickly. It will always find your preferences and what is engaging to you. So it's just being aware, trying to understand why, how you can prevent this kind of bad patterns. And I myself, I try to do, habit stacking. If I see something is working for me, I try to add some additional things to existing patterns. And it's, let's say like this, my biggest let's say problem, and when you are young you always try to, okay, from now on I will eat healthy, exercise, go to bed, everything at once, and basically you break after 1 week due to that your mental resilience is cannot take this kind of let's say beating on yourself. So one step at a time, and you have if you're becoming 0.1% better each day, it's enough to in 1 year to get amazing results.
Yeah, I love that. A hack that I heard someone else do that I did is I have an iPhone and there's like, if you scroll down or you pull down, it'll say like recommended apps and you can actually customize that to remove whatever apps you want. So I took off all social media apps there. And so now
Okay.
I don't have my TikTok and my Instagram like on my main pages on my phone. So I actually never see the actual icon of the app. So I just don't use it as much because I just kind of took away it being in my face and how easy it is. And so now I have to like go find the app. And that simple like delay makes me realize, oh, I actually don't want to go on TikTok right now because I don't want to waste an hour of my life scrolling.
Yeah, that is very good to know. What works for you usually, maybe it will not work for everyone, but just try different kind of, let's say, techniques, and you'll find something which prevents you to go into that bad habit.
Yeah. I wonder about when we're talking about vagus nerve. I also wonder about like depression. And I think about depression. My dad went through a depression state quite a while. And that is a place where you have no get up and go. You have no cortisol. You're like really, really low. There's no motivation to do anything. So if you were to stimulate the vagus nerve when you're in such a low place, will that help you show up better and help you kind of get out of that?
It can help, but I would not say that it will be like a bulletproof technique. Usually, if you are in real depression, you need not only, let's say, therapy, but you need some counseling or etc. Due to that, it depends from which kind of area the depression is coming. But what vagus nerve does basically, it desynchronizes those patterns in the brain. Like epilepsy has, if you get a bad signal, it spreads throughout the brain and you desynchronize. Similar with depression. But depression is very, let's say, severe condition, in general. But what we see, we have like a program for burnout. And we notice that some people are coming to, I don't know, exhibitions and we say, okay, I'm healthy, etc. I want to try the device. And they use the device and say, it should relax me, but somehow I get a burst of energy. And sometimes I say to them, look, maybe you are just burned out. And the burnout is basically you're here and we're pushing to your normal level. And you should feel like this. You should feel energized, happier, more, keen to doing things. Maybe it's not stress, it's burnout already. So you need to think of, I don't know, your patterns in some ways. Due to that, some people are saying, okay, it feels like coffee. Okay, so it's maybe not a coffee, but you already have some problems.
Let's be real. Weight loss is on everyone's mind right now. Ozempic and other injectables are everywhere. But what if there was a way to support your body's natural appetite control without these drugs, needles, or side effects? And that's exactly what CaloCurb does. It's 100% plant-based supplement that helps activate your body's satiety signals. So you actually feel full sooner, snack less, and naturally support weight loss. It's like giving your body a reset button. So instead of fighting cravings all day, you actually feel like you're in control again. And here's the best part. It's simple, safe, and sustainable. For me, CaloCurb has been such a game changer in calming my appetite when I have used it, and also just helping me trust my body again. My mom has been using it and has actually lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks. And she's so excited about that because it's such a natural and easy thing for her to do without looking to something like Ozempic or something much more extreme or yo-yo dieting or anything like that. So if you are curious and this is something that you think could be helpful in your life, or you have somebody you know who could really benefit from this, I think we all kind of have that person. You can try it and you can get 10% off with my link, which is in the show notes. Think of it as a healthier, natural alternative to Ozempic or even Wegovy, one that works with your body and not against it. You can also message me on Instagram at BIOHACKINGBRITTANY if you want my link to save or you have any other questions about it. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I've used your Burnout, and I've used all of the settings or all of the options, and I think it's interesting. I definitely feel relaxed after. I'm definitely up here and I come down. I'm not down and then go up. And it was actually the first time I used it, I was surprised. Like I was surprised at how much better I felt after I think it was 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, for us, I would say one of the burdens is it's a lot of people do not understand what we're having. Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it burnout? And we need to educate. Okay, can you differentiate burnout or stress or anxiety? And I would say, for some people, when I ask, okay, can you differentiate it? And usually people, okay, what is the difference? And I'll say, okay, if you have stress, you can usually pinpoint from which area the stress is coming: work, life, child, I don't know, father, mother-in-law. Anxiety is that you feel the same, but you cannot pinpoint. Everything is causing you stress, but you cannot say, okay, if I remove this, I will feel better. And we need to educate. We need to educate people so that they could try to find the right solution for them. This is also like not undiagnosed, but sometimes people do not try to, let's say, understand their own emotions, and they self-diagnose sometimes. This is also quite common, but usually, I don't know. At this day and age, there is a lot of questionnaires where you can quite clearly diagnose some conditions what you're having.
Yeah, yeah. So how would you differentiate stress with burnout?
So burnout is basically lack of motivation. So you have low energy, but you also do not have an energy to do anything. So basically, this is a key thing that you even do not enjoy the things. If, let's say, if you're stressed, if you're, I don't know, friends are inviting somewhere, you would be happy that you have an opportunity to have some good time. But with burnout, usually you have a problem that, okay, I have work to do, and this is also causing you stress that you do not want to go out. And these are one of the key things, that you have lack of motivation, even doing things which are important for you as an individual, usually. Yeah. So self-care usually is damaged on that side. Yeah.
Yeah. So it almost seems like burnout is like the accumulation of stress over time, like stressful days
Yeah.
over and over, and you're not doing anything to really mitigate that.
I would say like this, but there are multiple, let's say, burnout stages, and sometimes you can go from stress to anxiety and maybe to depression. So different topics, and it's really hard to differentiate due to that. Like epilepsy, as I mentioned, it has its generic name, but right now epilepsy has I don't know 50 kind of different, let's say, epileptic seizures. So, it is expanding, and, you cannot say that this is the truth, but, you can maybe understand in what kind of, let's say, progression you're going to, what kind of direction. Is it depression, burnout, or etc.?
Yeah. 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 That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm I'm curious as well. I know you guys do talk about this. How does Pulsetto support HRV? And what do you see as really making somebody have a healthy HRV level versus not?
We did, let's say, clinical trials, etc. We did the questionnaires. We can reduce depression. We can reduce anxiety. We can even decrease the cortisol levels from the hair. We did this kind of study. But we understand that for a day-to-day person, he needs a clear biomarker how he can measure itself. So this is why we basically created all the wearable integration, Apple Watch, Oura Ring, Whoop Strap, and you name it. And HRV is basically like a metric on which usually people are relating longevity and also stress levels. Due to that, if you have stress, you have a probability to live, let's say, uh, shorter, if I could say like this. So what we say, okay, if you measure your HRV, resting heart rate, sleep scores, and you have some patterns, stimulating vagus nerve at least twice a day for 4 minutes, you can increase HRV. And we can say we can decrease the stress levels. Due to that, your longevity level main marker is increasing. usually what is happening is also resting heart rate during the night is decreasing. This is also usually related to having, let's say, less cortisol. Also, it increases sleep score. And, when you're going into that positive loop, the best indicator is on your own biomarkers. So, if you have your own trend lines, we can improve it. And, you cannot say, okay, is it working or not? You can see on your own data. And for us, it's the biggest, let's say, like a promise for a customer that he can see on his own data, not on some paper, which usually, I don't know, 3% of population can understand what kind of markers you have tracked and what kind of outcome you can, let's say, expect. So I would say HRV, we can increase quite drastically. It depends on a person. If it is performance athlete, usually we can increase, I don't know, by 5%. But if you are, I don't know, person who has, let's say, 30 of HRV, but he has I don't know, a lot of stress, we can increase or double it. But, it will take time. But of course, having your own baseline is the key.
Yeah. 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 I think that's very helpful. Yeah, my HRV definitely has been better. I feel like when you have a baby and have a kid, I've kind of accepted that it's going to be a while before I get to a place where it kind of steadies. And everyone has their different levels. But for you, I'm so curious, what are your personal levels and what difference, if any, have you seen with Pulsetto?
Let's say like this, I am quite good responder for, in general, neuromodulation devices. So I'm quite good responder for that. This is why for me it's a no-brainer when I'm, let's say, not traveling. I have sleep scores 100 and etc. I have quite
Wow.
high HRV also. But usually, let's say like this, I have my own data for, I don't know, 6-7 years already. So I know my patterns. I know even more, what I'm having. So if I see that my resting heart rate is increasing and I feel, let's say, quite good, I understand that some, let's say, illness is coming. So I try to push everything into one basket, all the medication and other topics to try to mitigate. So I have a lot of, let's say, data and insights on myself. I cannot quantify them on some people, but my usual HRV is around 100, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, in general. Yeah. But, if I would train for some exhibition, yeah, I know that with our device and some other techniques, I can reach it to almost 200.
Wow. 200?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy moly. That's
Yeah.
great.
Because I achieved this once when I trained to some exhibition, but usually you need to go down and you have a business, you have a lot of travel, you have a lot of other topics, and
Yeah.
usually the life has its own agenda.
Yeah, I've had an Aura ring, I think, for 6 years or so. And the first one I had was the second generation. And it was actually one of the biggest reasons I stopped drinking alcohol was because I saw my sleep data and I saw how low my HRV was on nights when I would drink alcohol, and it would plummet. Like it would plummet. Like it would go from hundreds, low hundreds, 90s to like in their 40s and 50s, even just from like 2 glasses of wine. And that's when I was like, oh, this is actually not working for my health or for my nervous system at all.
It's, in my opinion, the biomarker tracking is the biggest enemy of all the, let's say, smoking, drinking, and other things, which you say, okay, by a moderate amount, you will be good. No, in general, no. And this is even show that you are not selecting that you drank a wine glass or drank a beer or smoked a cigarette. It has huge thing on your data. But the other topic is very critical that some people have their own data and they feel that this is bad, what to do. And usually those trackers are one side of a puzzle. So there is also additional thing that there are people who have like a data anxiety. when they wake up, okay, my sleep was bad, what to do? It's already breaking his own day. But in general, we are trying to create like a device as easy to use. The medication is the easiest way. You can always drink a pill and forget it.
Yeah.
Our device you can put on the neck. You can stimulate while you're working, reading, or making coffee. But in my opinion, if you can do exercise, breathing exercises, meditations, it's all good. It's all working. But usually people cannot maintain this kind of habit because you need to allocate specific time. You need to, I don't know, be in a mental state. Let's say I myself do a Wim Hof once a week, but still, it's only 15 minutes. But for 15 minutes is a lot when you need to, okay, I need to go to do breathing exercises. You have family, you have a wife, and you say, okay, why are you not with me just hanging around? You're going to do a breathing exercise. So it's, for us, it was to create something that it can be easily applied, would not mentally strain you, and would have a good results. And you can combine everything in between. You can do exercise later to relax, stimulate your vagus nerve. But in general, those natural ways are very good. But majority of people cannot maintain them. Yeah. That is a problem.
I find I tend to stack things like you. So I try to have a morning routine-ish, happen sometime in the morning. And I will do my meditation, my gratitude journal. And then you can just like put this on while you're doing that. Or I even put like my red light therapy face mask on or whatever. I just do everything at once to just try to get it all in. And that's like the beauty of something like this is like you said, like you can do it even while you're making coffee. It just makes it easier.
Yeah, so that is the key thing. It should not require additional time. Due to that, when I was working with universities, brilliant people, they create technologies which can be very beneficial. But usually to apply them, it takes 30 minutes of preparation. And but you can apply them only when you have some specific, very, let's say, big problem. Let's say like a herniated disc. Okay, you will put anything, but when you are removed from the pain, you will forget it because 30 minutes. I do not have time to set up. Later, I will come back when it will be the same. So for us, it was, first is to create the device which is usable. Later is the results. Due to that, you need to go first barrier for a person to even try it. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. I'm curious how your device compares to other ones on the market. So I've tried like years ago, I tried like Sensate, I tried Happy, and I'm just curious from your perspective, even from a design perspective, like what makes Pulsetto like V1 to get?
I would say like this: every device is good and unique in some way, shape, or form. But our is, let's say, newest ones, and we are, let's say, seeing the biggest opportunity for a growth due to that. We have some specific features. Happy or Sensate. Sensate is like vibration in general. So in my opinion, they can do a relaxation, but it's like holding a cat on your belly. It's very pleasant, but I do not know how many effects it might have. But the sensation is quite good. And Happy uses electrical stimulation, not electrical, magnetic. So magnetic is a little bit different. Let's say like this. For us, when we are creating electrical field, you feel it instantly. So instantaneously, effects are. That is what is important for us. And we are the only device in the market which has wearable data collection. So we can collect your data and show the results on your own data. So on those devices, let's say like this, you need to rely on the claims. For us, you can see the claims. And let's say like this, we're currently, in my opinion, we're most affordable because we have a low price point. Due to that, we see the more we sell, the more word of mouth marketing we get. And for us, it's critical due to that, when we sell a device and we see that the last name of that person is buying more devices, and it's okay, maybe it's for gift, maybe it's for relatives. And we see that, this is the biggest, let's say, marketing opportunity,
Yeah.
and people are seeing results. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I have a very specific question. Now, I don't know if you're going to have the answer to this.
Mm.
So, when you go into birth, there is an option that you can get which uses electrodes that you attach to the back of your back, like to your back, your lower back. And essentially it's like when you're going through your contractions, essentially it's to help you mitigate the pain and like take the way that you're thinking about pain and bring it to awareness to somewhere else in your body. Now,
Yep.
for me that didn't happen, but my friend used this. So she attached it to her back, she went into labor in the hospital, like it was putting the electrodes, whatever, through her, and she said it actually helped with the pain so much. So, my question is, if I were to go to labor again and I was going to have contractions, because this is using a similar way, like a similar, I guess, technology, could that actually help reduce the pain that I'm feeling during labor?
It's very hard to say or to answer this kind of topic. In general, I would say it might help, but I would not rely on it solely due to that, it can block some pain signals. There are, let's say like this, we use it on two different occasions. We have multiple, let's say, areas where people are using it. So we have tattoo parlors which are using our device. So people who cannot endure the pain, they put a Pulsetto device, and while they're getting tattoos, they're stimulating their vagus nerve. So it might block those pain signals. So they basically mask them. So on that lower back, usually it might be that it will be closer to the source and it has a better effect. So that's my initial thought about this. But no, our device is used, let's say, before MRI machines for, let's say, claustrophobia. So there are multiple ways, but for masking a pain, it might work, but I would not know if you can, let's say, compare if you had, let's say, one labor to compare to other. I do not know how to even make a scale on which you can say, okay, is it better or worse? That is my biggest thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like when you're in pain like that, like
Yeah.
I did a ton of like breath work during labor and it made a big difference because it brought me into my body, it calmed me down. So maybe it's not like maybe it's just relaxing the nervous system a little bit versus like actually reducing the pain. So maybe you feel like you're in less pain. I don't know.
Yeah, and this might be like a option, but I would say maybe not to rely on this, let's say like this, due to it. If somebody offers, I don't know, a lower back reducement of pain, I would say, okay, let's try this one and later try Pulsetto due to that. We do not have a date on that side. And, for me, it's a risky area to say because I do not know actually, but maybe we'll try one day.
Yes. Yeah. Well, if I have another kid one day and I go into labor, I will use your device and then I will
Okay.
how it goes. Amazing. What do you guys have coming down the pipeline, I guess, for the rest of this year and even next year?
Yeah. So I saw that you have a first iteration device. For me, it's I have a second iteration device. So the biggest, of course, the algorithms are a little bit improved. There is one key thing that it can be removed the padding, so you can apply different padding. So for a better fit, so it's a full set of fit for a better fit for your neck. So this is a key thing. So of course, we're trying to also optimize algorithms, battery life, usability. It's, let's say, we have a lot of in the background. We're developing, of course, new version, but new version will be somewhere in the middle of next year. But this is our new device, so better fit for different sizes of people where we saw that's a problem. But smaller necks had like a problem of a contact due to that. If you are lying down, it might be that it was pushing a little bit to the side. So
Yeah.
for us, that was the biggest issue that we wanted to cover.
Yeah. When my husband tried it, he found that, I forget what the word that he used, but he found it, like, almost was uncomfortable on here, like, it was too strong, and even when we dialed it down a little bit, whereas I didn't really have that, like, bulking out sensation that he had. Like, why would that happen?
So different things. It might be that he is more sensitive,
Mhm.
less, let's say, pain endure. Let's say maybe he can endure less pain, but it should not be painful. So we have nine intensity levels. So you apply a little bit of gel, apply the device. Okay, fine. It's too much. You can lower even to the level 1. It should have the same effect.
Mm.
But the intensity is more or less for finding the right spot. So when you're pushing the device, increasing the stimulation, which might be uncomfortable, you see a lip pull from one or other side. It shows you that you are in the right placement. You can reduce the intensity, and still you have the same effect. So basically, the intensity is to find the right location, but some people like, I don't know, endure that sensation. So
Yeah.
maybe there are some people, let's say professional athletes, usually, okay, I want maximum level. I do not know why, but it's their choice.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
So for the average person listening to
Mm.
this, how often should they use the device?
So the most optimal way is 2 times per day. So one is in the morning, second is before going to bed. So it is very good for maintenance and improving your, let's say, vitals. So heart rate variability, resting heart rate, sleep scores. But you can use it more. You can use different, let's say, programs. As I told you, there is a burnout with stress, anxiety. The most popular one is sleep. Due to that, some people watch, I don't know, their phones and they cannot fall asleep. So it's 10 minutes before going to bed stimulation, and it's quite effective. So, if you're also waking up at night, you can use the same stimulation, and it has, let's say, the biggest impact due to that. The sleep is a critical issue. And when people are having some sleep problems, usually they use that program. So, in my opinion, 2 times per day, but it depends on what kind of problems you're having.
Mhm.
But if for general maintenance, 4 minutes in the morning, 4 minutes in the evening, and you will have increasement of your baseline.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, only
Hmm.
4 minutes is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing. That's no time at all.
Yeah. And if you see the benefits, you can use it even more. But you cannot overstimulate vagus nerve with external device, so it should not be a problem. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Mm.
great. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been very informative. If people listening, yeah, I know they will want to try Pulsetto, where can they go and how can they connect with you?
So you can always go to our website, pulsetto.tech. You can find every information you needed. And what we usually say, you can buy the device, feel let's say, the sensation, what kind of effect it might have. And if you are, I don't know, do not like it, you can always return it. That is why we're basically saying like this. We know that we can improve your health. And
Yeah.
usually, I don't know, let's say, people are returning them. Majority of them understand that this is a tool in a toolbox. Maybe not for every day, but if I have, I don't know, a restless night, I can use it, and I know that I can make some impact on myself. So that
Yeah.
is our promise. It's quite clear. Go to our website, read it, buy it, and no questions
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah, amazing. I will put that in the show notes and on my website so everyone can find you easily. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been great. And I know my audience is definitely going to get a lot out of this.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for listening to Biohacking with Brittany. I hope today's conversation gave you something to take into your own life, a practice, a perspective, or simply a reminder to trust your body. If you love this episode, please leave a review, share it with someone else who could benefit, and join me over on Instagram at BiohackingBrittany for more. And if you're ready to go deeper, you can explore my retreats, community, favorite tools, all linked for you in the show notes. Until next time, remember, your body already knows.